Welcome to another episode of I've been saying that and no one believed me. I have a whole theory that I told the office and everyone's like, what? You're out of your mind. I'm like, no, this is true. This is 100% true. Article in the New York Times today. Do we age steadily or in bursts? Now, everyone thinks that you age steadily. Because like, yeah, I had my 5th birthday and my 6th birthday. I got a little bit taller. It's not true. Everyone thinks there's just linear aging. But then as you get a little bit older, and I'll connect this to sports and LeBron, all of a sudden, you just see people not age. Tom Brady just stopped aging. LeBron has stopped aging. So it's like, wow, is that some sort of scientific miracle? Like, or is it just the way people actually age? So here's the gist of the article. A bunch of scientists looked at molecules. If you want to figure anything out, you got to look at molecules. By comparing samples from different subjects of different ages, it found that people seem to age more rapidly around age 44 and then again at around 60. Long story short, there's basically no way to be 46. You're either 44 or you're 60. I am claiming that happens all through your life, and I will go through it in a second. 2 spikes. First spike at 44. Fat and alcohol metabolism. All of a sudden, you got problems. Everyone that has hit 44 or mid 40s has experienced this in some way. Quick story, not that interesting. Wake up a few years ago. Oh, I guess I'm getting sick. My ears are ringing. I have a little bit of a headache. I'm like just parched. I'm probably getting sick. I probably need to take some medicine, take a shower, get ready for school or whatever. I don't go to school anymore. I get ready for work or it's a weekend. I don't even remember. I'm like, no, I'm not sick. I feel bad because I had 1 beer. 1. I'm like, all right, looks like that's the end of that. Then the spike at 60, less funny. Immune dysfunction and muscle function kind of goes downhill. So the story about LeBron, he just got to 50,000 points. Everyone's like, can you believe it? Can you believe he's still doing this? And I raised my hand. I'm like, I can believe it. He's been taking care of himself. And I also just saw it with Tom Brady, who's been taking care of himself. And now here's the scientific proof on that there are only 11 ages. Age 1, baby. Baby. They're like, how old's your baby? Like, hey, he's 4 months. Like, he's 9 months. Just baby in general, baby. From baby, kid. Like, I've got a kid. He's not a baby. He's a kid. Anywhere in the range of training wheels to just whatever. Kid. My kid. He's a kid. Third age, 12. My son's 12. We just went to his basketball game. He's 12. But he's born in July, and it's 7th and 8th graders. So he was playing against 15-year-olds. Were there any 15-year-olds actually playing? No. But my son was definitely 12, and there's other kids there that could maybe touch the rim. They are 15, even if they're just like 8 months older than my son. So you got baby, kid, 12, 15. You're basically 15 until you're 21. You can drive, you're 15. Even when you're 18, you're basically 15. When you're 19, certainly when you're 20, you're like, what am I doing when I'm 20? Until you're 21. You're 21 until you're 25. And there's science behind it, like, why can't I rent a car? Because the car rental people are the only one on the cutting edge of aging technology. Like, no way. Even if you're 24, you are actually 18. You cannot rent a car until you're 25. You're 25 until you're 32. 32, you start to like, man, you're not a kid anymore, certainly. But you're basically still in your 20s. You're 32 until you hit 44. So somebody was downstairs, a producer on the show. He's like, I'm 36. I'm like, you're not 36. You're 32, dude. It's not a big deal. When you're 44, that's when things start to move. When you're 44, you're 50. As soon as you get to 44, you're basically 50. So how old am I? 50. How old I will be next year? 50. I'm probably going to be 50 for a long time because I'm 50 until I'm 65. When I turn 65, you basically cruise from 65 to 78. And then at 78, you can start counting as like an award, like at a wedding. You're like, I'm 78, I'm 79. You should have parties every year from 78 on out. Those are the 11 years. Am I impressed with LeBron's longevity? Yes. Is it still impressive to be producing the athletic achievements and just like mental intensity at that advanced age? Yes. Do I think that everyone talks about it incorrectly? Yeah, I do. When you look at aging as a cross country trip from New York to LA, every day you go a little bit further until you get to your final destination. I don't think it's actually like that. You're kind of going, and then all of a sudden, according to this article, you're taking longer jumps. You're getting in a plane, and all of a sudden, whoa, we're in Colorado all of a sudden. And you see it with you've seen it with your friends. You've seen it with maybe family members, like, whoa, that person got old all of a sudden. You hear old people like, all of a sudden I looked in the mirror and I was old. So how does this affect LeBron's GOAT case, which is sort of germane to everything? Why are we always talking about the GOAT case all of a sudden? Because he might win another championship. Here's the interesting thing about the GOAT case, and I'll tell a story about mowing a lawn. I think why there's no movement on the GOAT case is because everyone is trying to examine it in a statistical way. Look at this person's awards, look at this person's championships. But once you really dig into it, it doesn't make any logical sense. Like Nick's whole point on, yeah, Jordan is undefeated in the finals, but for some reason, because LeBron got to the finals and lost, that's a strike against him. Like, that is a perfectly logical argument, except, yeah, that's not how it works. Because the GOAT case is not really a logical case. It's an emotional case. So I'll give you a quick story on what I think is the GOAT. Is it the GOAT song? It's certainly the GOAT country song. So I'm working landscaping when I'm in high school, and we would always meet up at the boss's office. Me and my buddies, we'd get split up and go different places. Some guys would go pick garbage. Some guys would go paint. Some guys would go with this, whatever. We all split up, right? This one time I'm with the main boss's friend, and this guy's huge. We used to call him like Zeus or something. He was a gigantic person. And I don't think he was mean per se, but certainly we were all scared of him, to the point where one time I was weed whacking and he had the big stand on mower, and he's like, all right, let's go. And I'm like, all right, I'll walk over. He's like, no, sit on this thing. So I had to like sit on the mower, and I got burned in my back, and I didn't say anything. That's how intimidating this guy was. I'm like, I'll just sit here and get burned. I'm good. So now we're going, just me and him now, doing a residential property. He's mowing, I'm weed whacking. Done. Put the stuff in. We loaded up the truck. He starts the truck, gets the AC going. Oh, he's got to go talk to the owner of the property. Great. I'm sitting there. I had never listened to any country music at all, ever. All he listened to was country music. So I'm sitting in the truck by my lonesome as this intimidating boss guy is getting the check or whatever. Have you ever heard Tim McGraw's Don't Take the Girl? Have you ever heard that song? Holy cow. Don't listen to it. Don't Take the Girl comes on, and I'm listening to it. And if you want to pause the video and go listen to it, go ahead. Grab some Kleenex while you're going. It's a story about a young man's entire life as he falls in love with this girl that he becomes, his wife, and then I won't spoil it. It's a tearjerker, okay? So I'm sitting there minding my own business. All of a sudden, I'm not crying. I'm weeping, legit weeping in this guy's truck. I'm looking at the mirror. Here he comes. I'm in a bad spot right now. I'm a weepy mess. I don't know what I'm going to do. Desperate times. I don't want to get his truck wet, not from my tears, but I'm like, my only option. I take my water jug, put it in my hand, and then put my face like this and get like all, because I'm like hot. With the danger of wetting the truck, I'm like, I can't show him that I'm just weeping. Like, sorry, Tim McGraw got me. I didn't even know Tim McGraw was. Gets in, and I'm just like looking out the window. Like, he's so locked in there. I escape scot-free. The moral of the story is this. I have an emotional connection to that song. So out of all the GOAT country songs, that song is my GOAT, just because it is. And anytime we're talking about the GOAT, it's not a conversation based on merit. It's a conversation based on emotion. Why I think LeBron's longevity, how it plays into the GOAT conversation, is not, hey, give him extra flowers because he played so long. I think it just gives him more of an opportunity to create emotional connections with either new people. So you could be, 18 and seeing LeBron your entire life. So you have an emotional connection with new people, or strengthen the bonds with people that already thought you were the GOAT. And I saw it with Brady, where in New England, people my age think he's the GOAT, but you could literally be grown with a family and not really have a strong connection to any other Patriots quarterback because Brady played that long, to the point where kids that like are my son's age knew that Brady was the GOAT because he won in Tampa Bay, not because they saw old Patriots championships or like really like bow down at the stats. They just were able to create an emotional connection with a guy who didn't really age because aging doesn't really exist. The end.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.